ladies and gentlemen, the replays are out. I know you guys have been aching for some more tournament coverage from Jim, and here it is. At long last. Semifinals of Ruins of Alph Premier League, Gen 3 OU. First game we've got is Kael of the Pyrite Pichus versus Leo of the Shiny Sceptiles. That was made up. I forgot what SS stands for. I'm sorry, SS, but you guys are cool. The Pyrite Pichus sticks out of my memory. The whatever SS is, I'm sorry, I forgot. I could scroll up here and look at what it is, but let's get into the game instead, folks. Kael is becoming one of my favorite players to watch in these. He always brings something wacky every time. He brought Ninjask to a grand finals. He brought Carmine Dusclops earlier, which I'm told is something that he has brought in the past. And Leo, I recall being a gamer. Let's see if he can match up against Kael and curb the nonsense with... We've got Tara and Bliss. We've got standard versus wacky. Can he get there? Suicune lead I quite like. It's good into Tara and Mence leads. Kael gonna Carmine up in the face of Bliss. See what he does. Maybe stall some Seismic Toss PP. Maybe he's playing for the long haul here. Trying to force in a... This is a fine line, because... You know... He forces in a phaser, and that takes 2 turns, so... It's basically a reset moment. And Kael just gains information. Turns out he's Talk. I don't know if this Mence can really... What the heck is this? He doesn't have a phaser. Some teams just get destroyed by Crocoon sometimes. Like, they can't switch it out, or their phaser is threatened by Surf, like Skarm or Swampert. And this is a... So he's trying to chip it down. It's not always easy to get through Crocoon in an elegant way, so maybe Leo is doing something that looks bad, but is the only way through. Gonna T-Wave him, try to maybe get some full paras, provide himself a bit of leeway. Goes to Skarm on the rest, and he's got a 2 and 3 shot to roar this guy out. I would have thought he went to Skarm first, but maybe he was playing around Crocoon specifically. Thief's a mag. Oh dear. That's a dangerous click right there. He's got a Snorlax, which perhaps signifies a mag partnership. But he's gonna... And a pretty useless Thief on mag. Not a good Thief target, but gets a spike up for his trouble. Now his phaser's gone. Snorlax and Suicune are going to be very dangerous. Leo could make it happen, but it's not looking good. He just goes straight to Suicune, knowing that Leo doesn't have much anymore for it. Blissey can't beat it 1v1 because of pressure and the looming threat of Carmine boosts. Kael opts not to talk. If you guys don't know, when you click Sleep Talk and then you switch out, the sleep counter gets reset. So you have to wait 2 turns to wake up again. Sleep Talk will reset that, but if you just click a move that's not Sleep Talk, you will take the sleep counter whether you switch out or not. It's a weird mechanic, but that's what Kael was doing there by not clicking Sleep Talk. But here, no reason not to click Sleep Talk. Leo is going to hope to get through this. He can actually 3-hit it. So this is pretty good for Leo now. He can... Okay, Leo goes for the flinch. The Hail Mary. I guess the HP Flying Chip wouldn't have been enough to put it in range of something else. Perhaps nothing is fast enough. Metagross might have to explode here. Did not explode. And a Wheezing. There's the wacky thing that we all knew was coming. A Wheezing out of nowhere. Bit of a physical defense wall for Kael in this funny looking squad that has gotten a pretty good matchup here. That's an adamant Claydol, looks like, or maybe not actually. Don't know. Forgive me, I don't know the calcs off the top of my head. But gonna outspeed and do big chunks to tar. Umbreon. So it's you know, Umbreon to trap Gar, Magneton to trap Skarm, and then Snorlax is a win condition. So is Crocoon, and no real Dragoness Tyranitar like straight up check, but we've got Weezing, Claydol, and I guess Suicune. So this combo of these things, I suppose, handles Dragonet's Tar and maybe Salamence. Weezing is pretty decent against Salamence, but not the most elegant way to deal with it. Weezing can also run HP fighting to deal with Tyranitar a little bit better, so that might be what he's doing. Or maybe he's just trying to punish a bad matchup. It's looking pretty nuts for him right now. I think that these two titans, Suicune and Snorlax, are gonna bring it home. If the Weezing has Taunt here, it can chip down this Blissey pretty nicely if he wants to. Gonna go to Umbreon, probably Wish Pass to Snorlax or something. Get Snorlax in safely. Or maybe Wish up the Weezing even. Prick can pretty freely do that. Metagross is a little bit of a threat here because he doesn't have a great Steel resist, aside from Suicune, who is turn 0 of Sleep. Gonna Wish up the Weezing. Probably doesn't have HP fighting. Probably Sludge Bomb or some other special coverage attack then on the Weezing. It is indeed Sludge Bomb. And you got the Poison. Bit funny. Takes out the Tar. Probably wasn't that relevant. Claydol in the back. You see so much Skarm, Claydol, meta, Salamence. This is like so common now. It's kind of crazy to me. I see people talking about this stuff like that this is the meta right now, but I've seen it. You see it so often. It's kind of wacky. The only thing that could bail Leo out is Metagross. It's very threatening. If he can chip down this Weezing, which probably won't be allowed, but if he could, then and into Metagross Meteor Mash range, he could maybe make something happen, but it doesn't look like that's ever going to be allowed. Goes Metagross into Umbreon. Yeah, safe switch. And look how threatening Metagross is here. Pretty good. Ah, no mash. Maybe he thought Mag was coming in. Probably was trying to catch Mag then. Gets the attack raise he might need to make it happen. EQ gonna do a lot now. Oh wow, never mind. Crocoon with Sleep Talk is usually like HP and special attack these days, so I thought that would do a bit more, but maybe this one is a bit of defense. Or this Metagross is not that bulky. I think on these teams, when meta is relied on a bit more as a Tyranitar answer, maybe they don't run as much attack. They go more into defense. Probably not even adamant then. Or this is a bulky Suicune. I don't know. I don't want to bust out the calc in a commentary vid. Just a bit of analysis at a glance. I could be wrong on everything I'm saying. Just some food for thought, folks. Gonna attack the tank the Surf on Bliss and allow a rest then. Go back meta on the rest. This is pretty over based on those decisions. Allowing Suicune to rest up. You can't really do anything. Maybe he was trying to bluff explode, maybe catch something. I don't know. Terrible matchup, but we've seen that even in the last Kael video I looked at. He was also up against a similar thing. He was up against Skarm, Claydol, Metagross, Salamence, I think. And he just brought a Magneton physical offense and really destroyed it. Like, those types of teams are really weak to Magneton teams. And I think we're going to be seeing a lot more counter gaming like that if people keep running this Skarmory stuff. Ladies and gents. Now, this is Hclat versus Abyssal Ruins. Hclat told me in our interview when we had a chat that I shouldn't look at this one. I think he wasn't happy with his performance. Let's put the Pyrite Pichus on the bottom for continuity. But Hclat, we got to take a look at our... That might have been a bit of a spoiler as well, sorry folks, but you never know. I don't know, maybe he's... just being modest. Maybe he owns this guy. Let's see what happens. I'm curious to see. I'm sorry, Hclat. Now this is wacky. It's a... Just clicks Flamethrower in the face of a tar. Bit dangerous there. What if he EQ'd? Does it again. What the... Hclat is one of those crazy players. And now you go Pert. Yeah, there you go. Get Pert in on the Earthquake. Catch 2 Focus Punches. What the heck? That's what I call gaming. Get some incredible 22% chip on this Zapdos. Goes back Tar. Takes an HP Grass pretty nicely. Gonna crunch it down. No worries. Using up the tar to chip down Zap. Let me pull up relaxing Pokemon music to study to. One moment. Relaxing Nintendo music for sleep. This'll do. I wasn't the hugest fan of that N64 playlist. I love N64 music, but there was a lot of random songs on there I didn't recognize. That didn't quite fit the tone. Forgive the interruption. Back to the game. Goes Rachi on the last HP Grass. Genius. Zapdos faster than Jirachi, as evidenced by the turn order. Looks to be a defensive Jirachi. Happy to take a paralysis. Ice Punch. Hclat trying to get Freeze Claws. Hclat trying to get Freeze Claws to happen. Bring an Ice Punch to a tournament game. Could be Carmine Wish then, or it could be bulky Jirachi with Ice Punch. Unfortunate flinch. Didn't get the spike he needed. Is this counter? No. Oh, unfortunate crit. That's enormous chip on Swampert. But this pump is going to get him. Surf, sorry. Did reveal Surf before. Whoa. Hidden Power Bug, probably. Bit of a random Hidden Power Bug there. What the heck was he... Maybe he just thought he was protecting, so it didn't matter. Or it could be HP Grass, even. But then he died to it anyway. Maybe predicting like a Celebi or a Starmie, but also mid-ground Tar. Maybe it still killed the Swampert from that health anyway. Jumpluff. Didn't even process. Jumpluff is in the game. Hclat has brought this before. I played against him on ladder while he was testing this, and Jumpluff, underrated Pokemon. A very speedy sleep user with a... Encore is a good move in Sub-Leech. But as I was about to say, and has come to a fruition in front of my screen, Celebi is a pretty hard counter to Jumpluff. Immune to Leech Seed, forces it out. It's going to get slept, but it can just sit here forever. It can just sit against Jumpluff, and whenever Jumpluff switches out, it'll just switch out itself and heal up its sleep. So that's the kind of the problem with Jumpluff, is it gets really destroyed by Celebi. But this will allow Hclat a free turn to switch out to something at least. Gets Moltres in. Moltres with Jumpluff makes a lot of sense. You want something that really punishes Celebi, so... Wacky looking team, but I see the logic. This Moltres is looking like a threat. Nothing can really come in on this very nicely. Let's see what happens, folks. It's a Protect Toxic Moltres, which is pretty nice into like a Blissey switch. You Toxic him and Protect, get some chip damage, and with Sand up, it all adds up. But Hclat getting crit a couple times here. That was pretty unfortunate right there. That was a lot of chip against this Moltres. And yeah, I would have done the same thing. Sack the Swampert. Get Jumpluff back in makes sense. It forces in Celebi, and you can then sleep part of the Celebi. I see the logic here. You sleep part of Celebi and you allow a free turn to get Moltres in and suddenly threaten the whole world, or you bluff, go Moltres, and sleep powder again on the switch out. Didn't do that this time, but Jirachi into Gar is a fine mid ground. Gonna attempt to heal up Thori and die in the process, unfortunately, but gets to heal up Moltres after the sack anyway. Probably that's what he was aiming to do. And this Tar is really threatening. Trying to get it in on Jumpluff, on EQ. Nice pivot there. Free sleep powder. And then another pivot turn incoming from... Oh, went for Encore instead. I would have clicked Sleep Powder. What the... yeah, Encore into... I guess this plays around Sleep Powder miss. Maybe you think Tara's going for Rock Slide on a Sleep Powder miss. If you click Sleep Powder there, you would have put the Gar to sleep. Pretty nice, but... I suppose this Jirachi just checks the Gar anyway. Nightshade Gar is unusual. I haven't talked about... I didn't really even think about that, but that is really unusual. I wonder why he's running that. It's getting some chip on this Jirachi, I have to say. And now Tara's in again, and we're in trouble. Insane stay. Look at that. Trying to Rock Slide the Jumpluff. Stays in, gets the Ice Punch. 20% freeze chance. Now does he go Jumpluff? No. Stays twice. Bold. 50-50. You know, you can't call it bad, can't call it good. Does it again. He's committed. Hclat, I don't think you played this badly at all. I think this was... This was just an unfortunate one. You tried to make it happen, and I respect it. You got the sleep on the Tar. Not entirely over. Just needs to... Problem is this Gar, which outspeeds... Oh, yeah. Well, he woke up and killed the damn... This guy said, give your SPL trophy back. You don't deserve it. What the... What the heck is this drama going on in here? I honestly think that was well played by Hclat. You got to remember, he got crit on the Moltres and the Swampert. Nice line to sack Fori to get Wish up on Moltres. This task so threatening. Had to make some gaming plays between Jirachi and Jumpluff to try and find something against the Tar. He had tried to fish for a freeze on it. Tried to 50-50 his way to victory. Could have gone Jumpluff on those EQs, but that's a subjective position, folks. It looks bad, but it's a tough one. Well played by Abyssal Ruins too. Nightshade Gengar, I don't understand, but perhaps you can enlighten me if you're around. Not calling it bad, but it's intriguing. It's eyebrow raising. Up next, we got Kerts versus Siglut. The Goldenrod Gengars, I think this team is, versus the Violet Vaporeon. See, those teams stick out of my memory. And so do the Maroon Makagos. How could I forget them? They're not in the tournament anymore. But I'll never forget them. They're going to go down in history. Siglut versus Kerts. Tar versus Mence lead. What's going to happen? A defensive switch to Skarm is pretty standard into a Tar lead. And then a Charizard switch. You know what makes sense? If the Salamence is doing anything, it's Earthquaking or Brick Breaking. No risk there. And then if it's a mixed Mence, you outspeed it and you Dragon Claw it. Or even HP Ice if you run HP Ice. And if he does a defensive switch to Skarm, which you could easily do, punishes that with a threat of a Fire Blast. I like the Zard switch into the Mence. In the face of a Mence. Whoa. Crits Fire Blast. And burns. What the heck? You can't do that. Does he have Beat Up? He does have Beat Up, but it was played around by Kerts very intelligently. Takes a Dragon Claw. Rock Slide. Probably unexpected from Siglut's position. It's a lead Mence. It's probably mixed Mence. You can see Charizard's faster. As it probably will be most of the time. So, I do understand the Dragon Claw. Unexpected Rock Slide. Could be mixed Mence with Rock Slide. That is a set. Or it could just be a Dragon Dance Salamence lead. Pursuit Tar revealed. Misses Fire Blast. Can't complain after the insane crit plus burn against Blissey. Can't complain too much there on that Fire Blast miss, but we'll see how this plays out. Goes for Toxic that time. Interesting. Misses the Toxic. I'm worried that Siglut could allow Blissey back in and then Blissey could heal. But maybe he has Brick Break on Tar, which is why if Blissey comes in, he would just finish it off with Brick Break. Could also be Focus Punch for a similar result. So, Brick Break on Pursuit Tar is becoming more common for sure. Clicked Pursuit that time. Expecting a switch out. This is actually gaming. This is like mix-ups happening. Didn't even process that he went for the Toxic again and then Fire Blast missed. So, bit of a break for Kerts. Kerts catching a break. And this is why Skarm is a top tier Pokemon, folks. This is a Pokemon that should beat it cleanly, but it's tanking hits and doing stuff. Claydol will probably outspeed and kill this with Earthquake then. Is Claydol going to explode? Yes. I agree with the decision. By the way, Once again, Salamence, Skarm, Claydol from Kerts. I mean, it's doing great in this particular game. It's just crazy how common this is now. Peckless. Ooh, Metacam. I like Metacam right now. Oh, it's Bandit or something. I love this team by Siglut. This is really cool. Very Spikes week, though, I mean. Does get the EQ through the para. I was a bit afraid he wouldn't get that. And this is pretty over. Just gonna. This is pretty weak to the. Wait a sec. Yeah, Heracross faster. Didn't notice that. Heracross is Jolly Heracross, which makes sense right now. To outspeed the slower Salamences. That's something Hclat talked about in our interview. Jolly Heracross is well positioned right now because of Salamence going slower. Really commonly. Salamence cutting a bit of its speed to put into special defense, try and live like Swampert Ice Beam and Gengar Ice Punch, which can sometimes let him get a Dragon Dance and be a win con. But Heracross can punish that, and so can Metacam actually. Metacam is 284 speed. It's interesting that the fighting types that are supposed to be answered by Salamence can actually beat it in the current meta. Wonder if we'll see Salamence going fast again to counteract this. Bit of cyclical meta moment. But this is the problem with fighters sometimes on this type of structure. You're just Spikes weak, and you don't have Spikes yourself, so you kind of just get TSS momented. So even though you're trying to target the Salamence with the Jolly Hera, Salamence is immune to Spikes, and not that he has Spikes, but you can really curb the pressure with your defensive core. Alright folks, that was a fun one. We've got Watermess versus SuperEpicAmpharos. This is going to be a cool one. Two gamers. I like both of these players. Couple of Tars. That's a mixed Tyranitar. He's about to threaten a Fire Blast. Gonna go Moltres on the Fire Blast. Is SuperEpicAmpharos running the funny Rock Slide mixed Tar? He's checking for it. Watermess absolute scouter. He does never click in the face of danger. He never clicks into a leap of faith. He's checking if he's got Rock Slide. He's checking what his enemy's gonna do. He's not letting anything funky happen. Now Moltres knows that it's pretty safe. Crunch Stab is something, but Toxics him. I'm stupid. It's not Mixed Tar. It's Pursuit Tar with Brick Break, which is I just said in the last game is becoming more common. That's the fun thing about the other thing about Brick Break Pursuit Tar is that it can bluff Mixed Tar. I guess Crunch is not emblematic of Mixed Tar with the fringe option of Crunch. It is in fact just a Pursuit Tar with Brick Break. That's why you shouldn't assume the set off one move reveal, folks. There's always more to the story than meets the eye. Watermess knew there was more to the story. He was scouting out the set. He was playing careful. A couple of Skarms are going to match each other's spikes here. We've got a couple Molt Spike gamers facing off, and this is why I like both these players, because I also am a Molt Spike gamer. What is a... What... There's a couple options you don't see very often on Molt. I have seen Rest Molt, but I wouldn't have expected it to be clicked here. I think he might have been expecting to take a Toxic and then rest up. The opposing Moltres was faster, so maybe he was thinking, he's faster, he'll Toxic me. He's probably got a bit less speed investment, so he probably knows he's a bit slower. He was thinking, he'll Toxic, I'll rest on the turn he Toxics. Or he'll click Fire Move, and I'll stall out his Fire Blast PP with pressure. But an unexpected sub. Have not seen sub on Moltres before. I'm not going to call it bad, but I question the purpose. But there probably is something. Maybe you live a hit from something fun and then... If Moltres could make 101 health subs, I would know about that. There's no way that that's the case. That would be way more common. If that would just beat Blissey. But this Watermess's Molt is going to win 1v1 here. With rest plus pressure. I wonder if this is signifying a Heal Bell Blissey in the back from Watermess. Claydol comes out. Gonna get the spin. Nice time to Ice Punch. It's a spin turn. He's not gonna EQ. You can go for an Ice Punch freeze, get some decent chip on the Claydol. And this is where SuperEpicAmpharos might get some momentum back. He's able to spike up with the only threat to his Skarm is Moltres, who is asleep. But SuperEpicAmpharos has proven his astuteness, gone to Blissey. I thought that might have been a throw. I was like, what the heck? You make a free spike. It's frickin' Sleep Talk Molt. He was playing around Sleep Talk Flamethrower chance. He's more intelligent than I am. I had a 1 in 3 chance of losing my Skarm there. He didn't click Sleep Talk, of course, but why wouldn't he? He could easily have clicked Sleep Talk and risked it all. So this is a interesting scenario where Moltres beats Blissey 1v1. Look at this. With the combination of rest, toxic, and pressure stalling, this Blissey can't do a whole lot. And this Sleep Talk Molt, nothing can come in on this very nicely right now. He could get a Toxic on this Swampert or a Flamethrower on something else interesting. This is crazy. I like this set. I'm seeing the strength of this set play out in front of my eyes. You rest and then the enemy has to hope you don't get the right Sleep Talk outcome. SuperEpicAmpharos said he just took Slide off Tar. That's unfortunate. You make an alteration and then right when you needed it, it's already off the team. That happens all the time. Protect Tyranitar. This is like a bulky balance version of Molt Spikes, which is usually a more aggressive strat. I honestly think this team is genius by Watermess. And Ampharos' team was also pretty cool. I'm curious about the last two on this Jirachi set. Is it a sub moment or is it a Carmine Wish? Carmine 3 attacks? Probably not that. Pretty bad matchup for Jirachi. Getting a Fire Blast in. Yeah, this Tar was just not really revealed, was it? I wonder if SuperEpicAmpharos just assumed it was physical Tar. I actually did too. In my head, I was like, this is probably like a BKC Tar liking Focus Punch or something like that. But I guess makes sense on a Pursuit Tar to have Protect Glass. That's a fine flex slot. I do wonder how this synergizes overall. Do you need to eliminate Gengar that bad? I suppose. Yeah, Gengar's pretty threatening. In a not obvious way, but like... You T-Bolt Molt, you have coverage for the whole team, and then Will-O-Wisp, Metagross, threaten Skarm, threaten Claydol, kinda. Not fully, but threatens Wisp and like Ice Punch, Destiny Bond, that type of shit. Explosion. Excuse my French. Plus Pursuitas is just a decent mon in its own right. Can even trap enemy Claydol and such. This could kind of go either way, but I would say watermess with this particular Molt set is looking pretty good in my eyes. This Molt set just kind of threatens his whole team, and it can come in versus Bliss, which is a great asset. It's got something that it can come in safely against, and then really threaten the whole rest of SuperEpicAmpharos' team. No elegant way to really kill it from his perspective either. No toxic. Needs to somehow like get Jirachi to Carmine up. Or force it to rest and hope for the good sleep talk outcomes. This Molt is just really well positioned. Some team chat. I don't know if Xcal is a team member of watermess, but Xcal said that the tech is paying off, and watermess said I wasn't capping. Which means he wasn't kidding, he wasn't joking. So he must have prepared this particular Moltres for this moment to punish this squad, and look at how effective it is right now. The only way I think this Moltres could be threatened, maybe a Swampert Hydro Pump, but how could that ever be allowed? Moltres is spike immune. It can just switch out of any potential threat. And Moltres could come in right here. It can come in on Skarm and Bliss. Shrug off status. Make an evasive maneuver on any potential threatening attack. I think Ampharos, he's got to go for like Jirachi hacks on the Metagross or something. Or he's got to chip down the Metagross, make a path for Jirachi somehow. Jirachi could make it happen, maybe. Let's skip ahead. His Molt did just get crit by Blissey Ice Beam, taking a bit of chip. Maybe a bit of a reprieve. Actually, that's really good for Ampharos. That's kind of what he needed. Now the Moltres can't come in as cleanly as it once could. It can still come in on a Skarmory. And get the sleep counter off. And Jirachi coming in. Is this sub up time? Time to sub up and perhaps make something happen. Oh, gets an Ice Punch freeze. I guess that's the way to go, yeah. T-Bolt Para could have got there too, I think, but could have helped too. Is it sub? It is. Ice Punch again, I guess, behind the sub. Gets another freeze. Freeze claws, folks. We need the freeze claws. Look at this. This was such a bad matchup. Jirachi miracle 2 freezes. And he was one of the proponents of freeze claws. And look at him capitalizing on it. I don't think this one hits Skarm though. Oh, it does. He's got a lot of special attack then. I guess it was doing a lot to Claydol too. Oh, man. And this is a special tar. He can... Oh, he crits? I was thinking he could Carmine up against it, but maybe that's... He still breaks sub after 2. Man. He really got the... Although, it wasn't as dire as it looked, I guess, because he could get Jirachi and force Metagross in and then go for some hacks every time he's in that position. It's kind of hard to get into that position, get Jirachi in a safe scenario to allow that, but he did have a chance. And there it is. What the heck? Freeze claws make it happen. That's crazy. I guess we've got a tournament game to point to argue for freeze claws now. Council, take a look. What do you reckon? Did Ampharos deserve it, or was this nonsense? Could have been nonsense. Final game in the semifinals. Kerts versus SuperEpicAmpharos. Yes, the the Lantern Machamp avatar. I've got the same avatar. Asserting dominance on turn 1. With a far better avatar than his opponent, SuperEpicAmpharos. Let's switch sides for continuity's sake. The Goldenrod Gengar's on the bottom. Violet Vaporeon's bringing Vaporeon in the final game. What's going to happen? Vaporeon is a Pokemon that people swear by, but I've not had success with myself. But let's see what it achieves in this game. Kerts is committed to the frickin' Salamence. What do you reckon he's got? Claydol? I don't know, folks. If it works, I guess. Get magged though. Are we gonna see Mag beat this again? Are we gonna see it happen again? It's not DD Mence though. This time it's mixed Mence. Lunatone Gaming. He's brought this before. He has brought this before. Oh jeez. Didn't switch out of the Metagross. Did he think he was faster? Maybe he speed invested, thought he was faster. Yeah, he says in chat, that's fast guy you got there. He thought he was faster. That makes sense. He wouldn't just sack that. What the man? Gonna BP to Celebi. I guess he could have subbed there on the switch to Blissey, but why wouldn't he just keep breaking sub? Looking dire for SuperEpicAmpharos. But he's got some powerful sweepers, perhaps, that can bring him back from certain death. That's a defensive Jirachi that is whiffed on the Body Slam Paralyze. This matchup is looking poor. HP fighting? Never mind, HP fighting is what he needs right there to threaten this Tyranitar. Goes for a Wish. Goes for Protect. I'm intrigued. I don't think he's gonna win, but stranger things have happened. Zap is pretty nice, yeah. But how the heck does he get through Blissey? There's like no way he gets through Blissey. He has nothing anymore. The Jirachi isn't sub CM or anything. Celebi could be Swords Dance Celebi, but that would make no sense on this team. He also T-Bolt crit the para. I mean, crit the sub. Yeah, there's no way he can beat Blissey, right? Gets T-Waved on Jirachi. That's probably a death sentence. I guess he has HP fighting. That's something. He's gonna... He does have HP fighting. But I don't know, the combo of like Salamence, Metagross, Blissey is a bit rough to get through. Plus his Jirachi's parried. Did Jirachi just die? Yeah, got Surf crit. It's over, man. He was probably really banking on that Lunatone being faster than Metagross and just lost a Pokemon. Yeah, there was no way that was happening. I respect the Lunatone. This squad looks pretty Blissey weak to me. It's like special offense with Mag instead of Doug somehow. This is kind of like pure nonsense, isn't it? No offense, but what the heck is this? What do you... Like you can get rid of Skarm and then you're trying to HP fighting Bliss? Is that your... You don't have spikes to pressure Bliss. You don't have sand even. You need to like Calm Mind up. Maybe he was just preparing for no Bliss. You put the wrong dang Trapper on the team, man. Alright, forgive my... SuperEpicAmpharos is one of those players that just has a different brain to others, and sometimes his teams just look like total nonsense, but he wins anyway, so I won't be too critical. He sees things that we don't, folks, but that was an interesting game. Thanks for watching, everyone. Stay tuned for finals. It's going to be good. Valiant effort to all the competitors. Well gamed all around. Kael is looking really good. He's got something figured out about current meta. He's really destroying all the like things that people say are good right now with the Skarm meta. Claydol, Salamence stuff. That's like the new big four or something, but Kael is like owning them and bringing really wacky builds that are doing really well. So I'm excited to see him play next week. Thanks, everyone. See you later. More tournament coverage to come.